Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I'm George. We're all George. So, Bitcoin fire sale. Yeah, it happened. So, Bitcoin dipped a little bit more this morning and this afternoon. So, let's talk about what happened exactly. I know everyone wants to know why Bitcoin is dipping. So, I'm going to try to explain that. And also, because the entire market has dipped, here are some really good crypto buys, bargain buys, in fact. So let's talk about all these things and more. Let's do it. Welcome, guys. Unfortunately, I have to show you a chart like this that shows Bitcoin is down. Yes, we're right below $40,000. Unfortunately, this morning, we started out around 41,000-ish. And then we took a turn for the worse. So now we're at 40,000. So unfortunately, we did go down a little bit more. Obviously, we've been slowly trending down for about a week now due to, or I don't know about due to, but ever since Bitcoin ETFs were released, right? So what's the culprit? I mean, everyone is looking at one entity right now. One entity that's been selling and selling and selling and selling some more. And that is, unfortunately, Grayscale. People are watching Grayscale and they just keep on selling more and more and more and more. And the biggest, I mean, if you look at this right here, it's kind of telling story. That gray line is the number of Bitcoin Grayscale holds, and you could see ever since the release of ETFs, it just started tanking like a rock, basically, right? So, and here's another one that's Whalewire posted this morning about Grayscale sent a whopping $900 million worth of Bitcoin to Coinbase. Now, it doesn't mean that it's all being sold, but if you're sending something to Coinbase, usually that's what it means, right? So right now, it does seem like the market weakness or the Bitcoin weakness is due to Grayscale. And Grayscale just continues to dump. Now, can you blame Grayscale themselves? Is it Grayscale trying to cash out? Well, that's where we have a debate. Some argue that Grayscale needs to sell, obviously, because there's a lot of insiders that want to cash out. So that's reasonable. There's another that says that Barry Silber of DCG, they have enormous amount of debts to repay, right? Remember, they caused, I don't know if they, I'll take that back, but Gemini Earn was part of DCG, right? And they collapsed. And there's an enormous amount of debt that needs to be repaid. So some people are speculating that Grayscale is doing this to repay back those debts. So that's another reason. And the third reason is Grayscale, Bitcoin from GBDC is just being sold off because other ETFs are more competitive, right? The BlackRock and Fidelity and Bitwise and ARK, all of their ETFs have a lower fee. So it could be that there's a massive sell-off because people are putting their money into the other funds. It could be a variety of reasons. It could be all these reasons combined. Whatever the case is, everyone is eyeing Grayscale. And unfortunately, they could be doing this for a long time because Grayscale has an enormous amount of Bitcoin, right? But with that said, what have I been saying, okay, over the past week or so? Don't let these big boys steal your Bitcoin. Because despite Grayscale selling off so much, BlackRock and Fidelity and ARK and Bitwise and Van Eyck and everyone else, they are still loading up. They are loading up by the billions, okay? So even though we did take a dip and there's a little fuddishness in the air, don't let that fool you, especially with what's around the corner, right? And I'll get to that in a little bit. But you know what? Today may be that bottom that we've been all hoping for because we got the greatest buy signal we could have ever received today. Twice. And that's from Jim Cramer. You know, Jim Cramer is just like a retail investor Of course, when things get bad, he turns bearish. When things turn good, he turns bullish. But now Jim Cramer is trying to poke the bear, trying to test out inverse Cramer to see if inverse Cramer is right. So this morning, he tweeted out, unlikely that Bitcoin finds its footing. What does that mean? Indefinitely? No time frame? Bitcoin is dead? Forever? You know, maybe he should put preface it with short term, it's unlikely Bitcoin finds footing. But when you leave it open-ended like this, it's a very bearish call. And then later on in the day, he wrote Bitcoin equals tough own. Again, trying to kick the people that are down while they're down, right? So Jim Cramer, maybe he's fed up with all the Bitcoiners poking fun at him about inverse Cramer always being right. I don't know, but he's like jabbing it today, right? But it could mean that this is the ultimate buy signal because inverse Cramer, when it comes to Bitcoin, is always correct. But still, you know, Michael Saylor, at least he's trying to be more professional. He doesn't say, you know, anything bad about Jim Cramer. He just says Bitcoin equals the toughest owner. It actually should be the toughest holders, right? Because Bitcoiners, we sit through some very bad times, very volatile times. Yet we continue to hodl, yet we continue to DCA, right? That doesn't change. So bottom indicator might be here, might be in. But outside of this awesome buy indicator, what else is there? There's a lot of goodness around to look forward to, okay? All the usual stuff I already mentioned, but this one was brought up by Max Kaiser maybe a month ago. And he somehow caught wind that you have a couple of, countries, Saudi Arabia and Qatar, that are joining, I guess, El Salvador in terms of becoming very, very pro-Bitcoin and buying a boatload of Bitcoin, okay? In fact, it's rumored that they're going to buy 1 million Bitcoin. Not $1 million worth of Bitcoin. 1 million Bitcoin, which will rival even Satoshi's wallet, okay? That is an enormous amount and could be coming next week. If Bitcoin is low enough and they're really thinking about this again, I don't know. Max Kaiser seems to think this is real. If it is, and they make that buy, that is an enormous amount. If you think about it, that is out of the 1/19th, I guess, or 1/20th of all the supply out there, because right now there's about 19 point something million mined. So that instantly takes 1/20th of all Bitcoin in existence out of circulation if that happens, right? That's an enormous buy, and I could see it happening. These countries are flush with cash, and they know all about inflation. They know it's just sitting there and depreciating and basically becoming worthless. They want to hedge against inflation as well. So it definitely could happen, right? Again, if that happens, it's just absolutely massive in terms of how much liquidity is being taken out of the market forever, basically, right? Now, here's something else to keep in mind, that during bull markets, and yes, we are in bull market right now. During bull market, there's a lot of downturns, okay? Normally, you don't remember them, or if you haven't experienced, it just doesn't look like there's ever big corrections. But this one kind of breaks it down. Every single cycle, you could see, even though they all go up massively, you'll see that there's a lot of up and downs. Some of them are very massive, 20, 30, 40% dips, okay? So if you look at where we are, compared to where we were before, from 49 down to 40,000, right? That's about 20%. That's in line with some of these dips that we have seen before. In fact, it's on a smaller scale. Some of these other dips before are like a lot more massive, like 25, 30, 35, 40%. So we're actually right there. this is actually, you could consider one of the dips that we should be experiencing, because even in 2021, 2020, 2021, we saw a lot of dips, massive dips. And same thing, 2017, we saw massive dips. So this is actually pretty normal, okay? Pretty normal. And we filled a CME gap. Not that I really track these, but you know, some people just feel like we have to fill like all these gaps, these CME gaps, and we did fill it. We filled the 39.5 one. So we got that out of the way, I guess, if you put any weight to that, right? But here's the thing. Should you do anything different? No, absolutely not. If you've been DCAing throughout all these years, you should continue to do so. Here's Bitcoin broken down compared to NASDAQ, S&P, gold, and treasury bonds. Had you dollar cost average every single day from January 1st of 2022 till now, right? That's a little bit over 2 years. Bitcoin is up 50%, NASDAQ's 30%, blah, blah, blah. You get the picture, right? Nothing outperforms Bitcoin over long haul. Short term, yes, you could nitpick. You can find examples where there's other assets that may be doing better in Bitcoin. But the longer you stretch out the time frame, the more you realize Bitcoin is the ultimate solution, and there's nothing better than Bitcoin when it comes to hedging against inflation and being the ultimate store of value. That's really it. So the strategy does not change. Continue to do what you're doing, accumulating, holding, and DCAing. That's it. That's really it. All right. Outside of Bitcoin, obviously Bitcoin took a little dip. But outside of Bitcoin, yeah, the entire crypto system took a dip. Even though this last hour, we started to see some greens. Maybe that's because I started streaming, or maybe because the market found a bottom and is starting to flip upwards, right? But there are a lot of projects that have fallen quite a lot in the last 7 days. Ones that I've been talking about for quite a lot, right? They are great pickups. A lot of people always wait. The ones that are not buying on a schedule, a lot of people wait for a bottom, right? We did get a bottom signal from Jim Cramer twice today, but what are some of the good pickups, the great bargains, you would say, right? Well, let's start out with one of my favorites, and I think you guys could guess which one, and that is Solana, right? Solana is still doing very well. Stablecoin volume, really, really, really high. Right? In fact, threatening Ethereum's dominance just from stablecoin volume. No, that's not it. But stablecoin volume, extremely high. Extremely high. Even their new phone, despite the market weakness, is still selling like hotcakes. Okay? Saga 2, their newest phone, which is a little bit cheaper, have sold 40,000 pre-orders. Okay? Within just a matter of days. And that's with the market weakness right now. That shows you how many people really want those juicy airdrops from the Saga phone, right? People learned the first one, became very profitable, and now everyone wants the second one because they want those juicy airdrops. So that is why they are so hot, right? Again, market downturn. And they're hot because you have these big boys like Franklin Templeton that are now gloating how good Solana is. With DPEN, this is like a new acronym, but decentralized physical infrastructure, which a lot of it is part of DeFi. But DPEN, DeFi, meme coins, NFT innovation, a fire dancer, all these things, they're applauding, right? So you got the big boys also paying attention. And in terms of DePen, decentralized physical infrastructure, you got a lot. You got a lot that's already here. Like Helium is a big example, okay, using decentralized mobile network. Flux and others, Pith, right? These are all part of DeFi, but you could also say that they're part of DePen as well, but it's already here, right? And if you look at, the top projects, you know, what their market cap is, obviously you have a lot that's going on. But, you know, oops, I didn't mean to go to that one. But, you know, Solana, and of course, a lot of you guys love memes. Love memes. the hottest memes are still on Solana. So you can't discount that. And overall daily transaction volume is still sky high. Solana is definitely a great pickup right now, especially since it's at like $85. Let's not forget, just like a couple weeks ago, I don't know if it's like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, Solana hit a high of 120. So if you look at that, that's a big gap right there. $40, it's like a 50% difference, right? So definitely I think a good pickup. Now another one that I just prequeled already is Avalanche. And Avalanche is down much bigger, 30% in 30 days. What's going on with Avalanche? Well, the thing is, Avalanche started out really hot with games back in 2023, right? A lot of games caught on fire. Avalanche, most of their subnets are gaming related. Beam is a subnet on Avalanche, right? And they are a huge game chain. And then you have like oldies like DeFi Kingdoms also on top of Avalanche. And you got others too, but mostly because it's game driven. But then, you know, games got a little bit weaker. So Avalanche started getting a little weaker. But overall, still a powerhouse. They're still in the top 10, right? Obviously, that means a lot. And they still have a lot of great stuff happening, right? For example, if you look at overall development count, it's still really, really high. Maybe not up there, not as high as Optimism or Solana or Arbitrum, but they are up there. That means there's a lot of development happening right now, right? And of course, I did talk about the games. You got a lot of good ones. Some already out, more coming. I think games will be a big thing in 2024, right? So I think their goal continue to do well. They also have Burning as well, and they have this partnership with some of these other with other chains, and they're trying to become like this big, I don't know, ecosystem, right? So it's all good. I think Avalanche is gonna pick up, and let's not forget they do have a couple memes, not doing so well now, but I think those memes will pick up once again and also help carry Avalanche going forward. And then lastly, real quick, I know a lot of you guys, even though this may be one of the boringest projects there is, you can't discount Cardano. Cardano, like I said, could be very, very, very boring, but Cardano is still sitting in the top 10 at number 8, holding. And you know what? Right now, there's just kind of like Avalanche, Solana, they're building. That's all they're doing. Their fundamentals are getting better, right? NFTs, they're one of the top NFT chains out there, okay? Also for staking. And also look at this, development, right? In fact, if you look at GitHub commits for the last 30 days, guess who's leading? Cardano. That's kind of hard to believe that there's more development activity on Cardano than any other chain out there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And of course, if you're looking at the charts, you know what? Cardano may be boring, but it may be mirroring what happened in 2021 before it started skyrocketing, right? So don't miss out on Cardano. All right, so that's pretty much it. Covered Solana, Avalanche, Cardano, 3 big caps. Don't miss. They have taken a breather recently, so good pickup opportunity. But of course, you never, ever, ever want to miss Bitcoin, right? Never ignore Bitcoin. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, let's see. You know, the thing is, I gotta say, looking at the live chat, you guys are seasoned pros. I expected more bearishness, but no, you guys are keeping it together very, very strong. So that is absolutely fantastic. That's what I want to see. Pete, are you kidding? Hopefully you're kidding. Let's see. John says my bank account will explode because of Solana. I believe you're gonna be right. What is? I keep thinking about. I can't. I'm not gonna repeat it. I'm not gonna repeat it. All right. Dentech Gaming, Flux and Cardano Easy 100. No, I don't know about that. Not the latter one. The first one maybe. Silver something says, man, I can't keep buying these dips. Let's see. CL Jacob. I'm not going to repeat what you said, but you're probably right. D. Lee said, I knew it was Cardano when I said it was boring. Well, it is. Bo, $1, thank you. Thoughts on neobank and blockchain banking? You know, I'm not a big fan of blockchain banking. We're trying to disrupt banks, okay? We're trying to get away from banks. So these new age D-banks, right, digitized or decentralized banks, you know, they still have heavy banking components to them. So I know the reality is you can't just replace banks altogether right away. There has to be some kind of transition period, but just not a fan overall. Shady Luke, you or someone else already said that this morning. I mean, just from the name alone, I would not support it. Can you check out Myro Proxy Rocky? No. How long can Grayscale keep selling before they run out at this pace? Oh, I don't know. They could be selling. I mean, Grayscale, they've been loading up on Bitcoin for years, and now, unfortunately, it's all being like dumped right now, right? I don't know how long it's gonna last. It could last for a long time. Polygon is getting pretty boring too. I don't disagree with you. It is getting boring, even though I'm still a big fan of Polygon. Need to see more excitement, more movement, more partnerships, more dApps, you know, games, whatever, right? Even from a meme perspective, they don't have any memes other than Kulo. I mean, Kulo's doing what they can during this market downturn, but like, there's no other really memes that's exciting. I mean, Polygon's getting kind of boring too. Myro looks like it wants to take off. I mean, I gotta say, they held pretty well. Pretty well. All the other memes really dumped. Myro did okay. Do you own Jewel? Yes. Where to buy it? Bullish? Buy it in-game. In-game, that's the best way to do it. Don't buy MXC because it's using old Jewel. And then there's one exchange that has a coin something. It's on their webpage. Coin Store, I think. Coin Store is the one. But yeah. Trader Joe. You can get on Trader Joe too. But the best way is to get it in the game, Mark. Bo, what do you think about meme coin Benji on Sol? It's Taylor Swift's cat and featured in Time Magazine. Swifties have bought it. Okay. I like the name. I think Benji sounds pretty cool. But as for if it's Taylor Swift's cat or not, that means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Someone asked me about Ponk before. Again, I'll never support it because of this name. It's doing well, but usually when something does well like this and everyone's asking about it, it may be the top indicator. What is Benji? I mean, obviously that's not doing well. Just because it's named after, you know, Taylor Swift's cat doesn't mean that Taylor Swift is asking all of her fans to buy Benji. Dan, Crypto Man, we're turning into a meme community. We really are. I kind of brought that upon myself because I started degenerating into meme coins. And it's fine, you know. It's fine to buy memes. Just be careful. Buy small amounts if you go degen in. Know that they are very risky. But if you catch the right ones, you can make good money. That's just really it. But don't go like FOMO all of your portfolio into it. Don't ignore Bitcoin and the big caps. Have a diversified portfolio. That's really it. Is Polkadot dead? No. But I prefer like Solana over Polkadot. Swifties have no place in crypto or NFL. Is that what you call Taylor Swift fans? Swifties? It sounds like Swifter. But I guess it's fine. 1 million BTC buy would have to clear out most or all of OTC available at exchanges. Even if Grayscale needs to dump more. Well, if you measured all the Bitcoin available on all the exchanges, it's like around 2 million. So it could cover that. Okay, but if you're selling OTC 1 million Bitcoins, I mean, it's certainly going to clear out, I think, OTC. It won't clear out all of the exchanges because, again, there's about 2 million on there. So, but that's a hell of a buy. That's a hell of a buy if it happens. Can you look at Circle or Churro? Yeah, I've seen this before. See, this is the danger of a meme, right? Like, you get a whole bunch of people to pump it up and then it dumps down, right? That doesn't look good. And I hate that symbol. And then, Churro. It looks okay. Just can't say anything about it. Don't know anything about it. Maybe 39.3 was the bottom for Bitcoin. It could be. It could be. We bounced off a little bit. I couldn't help but notice from a chart perspective, if you look at a 4-hour, Bitcoin is very, very oversold. Look at this, okay? RSI right here. It dropped to 20-something, and stochastic bottomed out. But if you zoom out, you look at the last time on a 4-hour, Bitcoin got this low was like bottom point over there, right? Before it started going up. That's on a 4-hour. On the daily, if you look at RSI, the last time Bitcoin's RSI was this low, you go all the way back to here. That was September of 2023. That's when Bitcoin hit 24.8. And then it bounced off and went there, right? So it literally doubled from that point. So Bitcoin's RSI on the daily scale is as oversold as when Bitcoin was at 25,000. So I would say that shows you where, can't say for sure. There could be more Grayscale dumping, and it obviously it throws all the charts out the window. But from a chart perspective, looking pretty good. Again, though, you know, Grayscale, hopefully they stop. OG Panda, appreciate it. Will crypto be good for interplanetary use? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm just going to say yes. Yes. And CME gap got filled. Yes. And Jim Cramer said it's over. Yes. Those are all bottom indicators. Check out Gaming Coin Cities. They have a great ecosystem. I think it's hidden gem. I think I've looked at it before. That sounds very, very familiar. $41 million. listed on some good exchanges. It's weird that Gate is leading the volume. So there's Heroes. Web3 Metaverse. The graphics look amazing. 14 games in development. 14 games in development. Available on Amazon Kindle. So they have a story. Well, I gotta say, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. This looks pretty amazing too. So Vernon, this could be a good one. I'm gonna put this on a maybe pile, on my gaming maybe pile. Yeah, that's not bad. Embiid dropped 70 points. No, he did not. Did he really? Are you considering making a coin? No. I thought about it, but I really don't want that pressure. If it dumps, I'm going to get blamed. If it pumps, Gary's going to come after me. So, yeah, no thanks. Yeah, need more ETF. Yeah. What do you think about Volt in you? I'm just going to say no because that sounds stupid. Why would you call it Vault in you? Is it a meme? The people's currency. Okay, when you say that, the people's currency, I just turn it off. What if Grayscale doesn't stop? They're going to have to stop at some point. They're either going to run out or people stop selling it. I think they knew that. That's why they set their fees so high. They set it at 1.5%. To try to discourage people from selling. I think they knew for a fact that people were going to sell. It's unfortunate, but it's going to stop eventually. What is Phi? I don't know what Phi is. What is it? Arbada? I have no idea. Your brother? Okay. Can you explain the difference between miners and node operators and how they profit? Tom, I'm gonna say something and don't take offense to this. Google it. Okay. So you'll get a better answer from Google than me. There are some questions you're better off just Googling. They will explain. One process transaction, one process a block. So that's the simplest term, but you can find out what the real difference between the two. Your opinion on quant? Not for me. I don't like it. Make BTC pump. If you buy and everyone else buys, it's going to pump. Did Embiid really drop 70? Wow. Yeah, Wemby probably didn't like that. NBA Celebrity All-Star Game. I think I could do well. No, I would not do well. Maybe 20 years ago. Right now, yeah, just like running up and down, my knee starts hurting. I can't do anything with these bad legs. Sorry, I meant if we start living at different planets, wouldn't crypto instead of physical gold and cash be better as currency? Yeah, or anything digital. Obviously, if we ever move to Mars, no one ever should be using paper currency, right? Of course, it should be digital. Whether it's going to be a crypto or a CBDC, I think it's more likely going to be a CBDC. It's going to be a crypto, but probably one that you don't want to use. A good percentage of memes or rugs, think of them as lottery tickets. That's true. That is 100% true. A lot of these memes that you see that people are asking about that get put up every day, a lot of these are rugs, okay? Or a lot of them will never do well. But some do, some do. but a lot of them, most of them will not do well, right? So that's why you don't want to go all in or too heavy. Be careful. They could dump down immediately and they can never recover. Just be very, very, very careful. Teresa, I appreciate that. Yeah, having an event is only like 3 months away. So, not that long. Not that long. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about that comment. What do you think about Zai? I think they have potential. Gaming chain launching on Arbitrum as a L3. Potential. Potential. Do you think everyone's portfolio can still 10x? In fact, after the recent dip, I think everyone's portfolio could do like a 12x now because we're actually much lower than before. So yes, I definitely do. Is Rollbit dead? I don't pay attention to gambling coins. There's too much scrutiny, too many countries that don't allow it, and it's just... I still remember one that Mark Cuban backed way in the day back in 2017, and that thing just collapsed to zero. I was so hyped about it because I heard Mark Cuban was an investor, and it turned out he's just not a good crypto investor. Have you heard of Vaulted Island on Steam? I'm not a big gamer, so no. Is that a crypto project or just like a game? I have no idea. Fake out to 35 down moon. Well, it could happen, or maybe 38, or maybe 39.5 or 39.3 was our bottom, and now we're going to head higher. Isn't LimeWire a decent project? I mean, it's a torrent project, and they've been around forever. So I'm not, again, torrenting. A lot of legality issues with it. You know, that's just, I don't know. Not for me. Arrows in the dark. George, you're too bullish. Stop telling people to buy high. This is not high, first of all. And I've been telling people to buy since forever. And people that have listened are in the green and doing well. So I think I don't ever give financial advice, but I am very bullish. I'm always a big Bitcoin bull because I understand what Bitcoin's about. I know what crypto's about. I know how the future is going to end up. And that's why I'm so bullish, right? So I'm just sharing my bullishness with you guys as entertainment. I'll just preface that. But, you know, the more you learn about money, honestly, the more you learn about money, the more you learn about how money is debt. It's created out of thin air, and there will always be more that's minted and printed, and because of that, inflation will never stop and only get worse, and your buying power just diminishes over time. And the only true way to get out of that, and a true way to make life-changing wealth, is by investing in hard assets that out-appreciate inflation. And the one asset that out-appreciates inflation more than any other asset is Bitcoin. So if you understand these things, you cannot help not be bullish on Bitcoin, right? It's really that simple. The more you learn about Bitcoin, the more you learn about money, the more bullish you become on Bitcoin. That's just how it is. Dwight Howard bought some AVAX and cock. Are you planning on more cock? I don't know if he bought more cock, but maybe. But I know he tried to come out with an NFT line and completely bombed. I think he he overestimated the number of fans that he has, and the willingness they have to spend money on him. I think that's the best way to put it. Supposedly it was so bad that even Avalanche team themselves distanced the project away from the foundation, I guess. So I mean, it was just really bad launch. And I don't get what's going on with Dwight Howard. He's like live streaming himself on TikTok 24/7. I just like randomly come across just his face while he's eating or hanging out with his family or whatever. It's just his face, and he's not even talking to the crowd. He's just like randomly doing stuff, live streaming on TikTok. I don't even know why anyone watches that. Ando was listed on Coinbase today. Someone asked me about this the other day. What is it about? I forgot. Yeah, institutional grade finance, on-chain, totally not my thing. This is totally like if you are a fan of banks, this would be your project. If you're a fan of buying U.S. treasuries or money markets or making a yield with your dollars, I mean, this is like basically a digital bank. Totally not my thing. Cat at 62 for Wolves. Man, I don't hear about Cat. Edwards is like taking over that team, but it's good to see Cat. All he does is shoot threes. Embiid is like playing like a monster though. He's going to average like 40 points this year. Anyways, to conclude, you know what, guys? We had a little dip today. Okay, a little bit more today. It could be because of Grayscale selling. And we could see more selling as the week goes on. But eventually it's going to stop. We had some good buy signals today. Okay? So overall, don't be discouraged. We got a lot of good things happening. A lot of good things that will be coming later this year, right? So make sure you stay in the game, stay focused, continue to hold on DCA, and let the gains come to you. All right? It's really that simple. I will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Do you remember Meme Combat? Last question. I don't ever recall Meme Combat.